Sever your attention from the noise of the world for just one moment. Anchor yourself right here. Do not scroll past this. Do not minimize this screen, and do not let your ego convince you to swipe away. What is unfolding right now is not a digital coincidence, and it is not an algorithmic accident. It is an absolute decree of divine alignment. There is only spiritual resonance calling to resonance. The fact that you are here right now, reading these words, tells me something very specific about your journey. The spiritual shield around your heart is about to become completely untouchable by the material world. An intelligence infinitely older and flawless, the decree of the All-Wise, just made sure you received this confirmation before the phase shift completes. You have felt it, haven't you? Something has been building, not in your external circumstances, but deep in the unseen field around you. A holy pressure, a sense that the dense, restrictive timeline of heedlessness you have been walking through is thinning out, and the pure light of divine tranquility is pressing through from the other side. You couldn't name it, but it is infinitely more real than anything your physical senses have been reporting. Right now, you are about to understand exactly what Allah has been doing to your spiritual heart and why everything is about to change. There is a divine transmission meant for you, but to receive it, you must completely reframe how you think knowledge finds you. In the old, low-frequency paradigm of the world, you go frantically searching for wisdom. You are the hunter, exhausting yourself. But that is not how it works at the quantum level of true faith. At the level of consciousness you are now operating from, divine guidance hunts you. The signs of Allah arrive at the exact millisecond your heart becomes coherent enough to receive them. The truth locks on to your unique spiritual signature like a homing signal, moving relentlessly until it lands in your awareness. This is not metaphor. This is the mechanics of divine mercy.
The universe does not operate on aggressive human ego. It operates entirely on spiritual resonance. Think about a tuning fork. When you strike one, another fork of the exact same frequency nearby begins to vibrate automatically. You don't have to force it. That is how reality delivers to you under the command of the Creator. That is how absolute protection activates and how your nur becomes untouchable, not through exhausting effort, through frequency precision. Right now, your frequency just matched an ancient divine reminder that has been waiting for your soul to reach exactly this altitude. Let me tell you what this transmission reveals when your heart reaches the threshold of becoming untouchable. I am going to walk you through the 7 frequency keys encoded in this divine reminder. Notice which ones your body responds to most strongly, because those are the precise codes your soul needs to integrate first. The first key: you are not your worldly story. The heavy narrative you have been carrying, your past trauma, your worldly failures, what was done to you, is not your true identity. It is simply an outdated frequency pattern of the world. You cannot change the past, but through sincere repentance, you can instantly release the vibrational charge those events hold in your field. The moment you release that charge, the story loses its gravitational pull on your reality. It stops attracting toxic experiences and stops building dense walls around your heart that dim your divine light. Quantum physics tells us that the observer collapses the wave function into a particle. In spiritual terms, if you observe your past with the frequency of victimhood, your reality collapses into limitation. But if you observe those same trials through the lens of absolute trust in Allah, those memories transmute into pure wisdom and fuel. Same past, different observation point, entirely different physical reality. The second key: protection is not defense. Your mind will try to skip this, but let it land. True protection is not building defensive walls. In the worldly paradigm, protection means armoring your ego and bracing against attack. But broadcasting the frequency of defense signals the universe that you expect to be attacked. Real divine protection is frequency elevation. A coherent, high-vibrational field of faith simply does not interact with the low frequencies of worldly drama, manipulation, and chaos. They pass through each other like radio stations on different bands. You become completely untouchable, not because nothing exists out there, but because nothing that is not a vibrational match to your faith can land in your field.
The third key: destiny is layered. In the ultimate knowledge of the all-knowing, the highest, most purified version of yourself already exists. You do not have to manually construct it. You must collapse the distance between where you are and where that elevated version exists through resonance matching. You tune your heart to the frequency of absolute peace, making decisions and moving through space with the energetic signature of someone who has already surrendered completely to Allah. Consider the spiritual parable of Maryam, who lived in a village at the edge of a vast, scorching desert. The villagers told her the desert was a death trap of heat and emptiness. But Maryam carried a quiet, persistent hum of faith in her chest. One day, she realized the desert was not a barrier, it was a vibrational filter. The heat would burn those carrying the frequency of worldly fear, but for a coherent heart anchored in Tawheed, the desert would become a gateway to higher grace. Maryam stopped suppressing her inner hum of faith. She walked into the desert, and the sand did not swallow her. She was untouchable because her frequency of trust neutralized the harshness of the environment. What matches your frequency of faith cannot destroy you, it can only expand you. The fourth key: spiritual choice is not a mental decision. Decision operates at the level of the calculating mind, weighing worldly risks based on past trauma. But true choice operates at the level of the quantum field. It is instantaneous. It is the moment your entire being orients toward the pleasure of Allah and locks in. You don't think your way into a new timeline. You choose it through pure intention. The more you choose this high frequency, the faster your nur stabilizes, and the old patterns of the dunya can no longer find purchase in your energy. The fifth key: the activation practice. We must move now while your field is open. Place your attention directly on the center of your chest, the heart, your spiritual heart center. Breathe into that space. Focused awareness mathematically increases the coherence of this cardiac electromagnetic field. Hold your attention there and speak these words out loud from the absolute depths of your soul. O Allah, my faith is my protection. My heart is coherent. My signal is clear. I am untouchable by any worldly vibration that does not align with your truth. My divine light is active. Feel the subtle shift in the space around you. Something reorganized. You cannot unring a bell. You cannot deactivate what has been activated at the field level. The sixth key, releasing incompatible relationships. The people who cannot go where your timeline is leading are not your enemies, they are simply on a different frequency. The most loving thing you can do is release the desperate need for them to understand your journey. You cannot drag someone across a spiritual threshold they are not ready for. When you stop dimming your light to make them comfortable, some will leave. Let the grief move through your field without collapsing it. On the other side of that release, the quantum grid reorganizes. New souls arrive, righteous resonance matches, built on mutual elevation, not worldly codependence. The seventh key. Gratitude is a frequency of completion. Gratitude is not just an emotion, it is the strongest electromagnetic transmission a human being can emit. It is the frequency of already having. When you broadcast absolute gratitude to the Creator before the physical evidence even arrives, the quantum field has no choice but to match it. It sends you more blessings to be grateful for, fulfilling the divine promise. If you are grateful, I will surely increase you. Shukr locks your shield into its permanently activated state. We are living through a massive planetary frequency acceleration. Time is moving differently. Old structures are collapsing. The field is demanding an answer. What frequency are you choosing? To anchor this, practice halo breathing for 3 minutes every morning. Sit in stillness. Place your attention on the luminous field in arm's length around your body and breathe. Intend for that field of divine light to brighten and solidify as an unshakable filter against the world's static. Maintain this recognition. I am already what Allah created me to be. My light is active. Do this for 7 days and watch reality respond. Obstacles will reroute and opportunities will appear because you changed your internal broadcast. Your activation is not the destination, it is the starting point. Once your frequency is coherent and the low vibration chaos can no longer reach you, you become a transmission node for the Ummah. You become a walking activation for everyone whose field is ready to receive it. You are a lighthouse, and lighthouses don't chase ships, they simply shine. Let us seal this activation into the collective grid. Go to the comments below right now and type these exact words. My faith is my protection. My divine is active. When you type those words, you are not just making a comment, you are casting a frequency into the field. You are signaling the quantum network that another coherent node has come online. Subscribe to this channel to ensure your matrix continually receives these precise upgrades. You are ready. You have always been ready, and now your soul remembers it. Welcome to the field of unshakable faith. The light activates now. To take this activation into absolute permanence, watch the video titled "The Moment You Realize This, Everything Changes," because it reveals the exact mechanics of how your field is already neutralizing external chaos before it ever reaches your awareness.